Morning, guys. Welcome to another Crypto EMC episode. Today we're going to be talking about our next trade, and I've created a tool in the last week that I want to share with you guys. It's called the TrendScope Indicator, and this tool is going to help you navigate these markets with, I think, a greater amount of ease. So today we're going to be using that tool, and link to the tool and everything is in the video description. It's completely free. Okay, so I've got Bitcoin open on the 4-hour time frame, and the idea is to kind of define which direction I will be trading the week. So are we going to be going long? Are we going to be going short, or hunting for longs or short? So clearly, if we switch to a line tool, it becomes really obvious what we should be doing. Take a horizontal array, put it at the top, put it at the bottom. You can use those lows, or you can use these lows if you want to. You can clearly see that the market has gone through a distribution now. So what have we done? We've reached a climatic event. We've tested secondary test. Okay, funny enough, this is a secondary test, a sign of strength, because we got really close to that area, but nevertheless, then we broke through, created to the beginning of the distribution. We distributed, okay, and then phase C occurred, last point of supply. So this is your phase C, and then this is your trend within range. We got smashed back into the market, and we did that again, trend in range, and now we're consolidating below the bottoms of these ranges. So clearly the macro view for BTC is still bearish for now. Okay, so let's take that information, maybe bring down the music a little bit, and let's look at the indicator that you should be getting and using, and how you can then extrapolate the same amount of information without needing me. Okay, so the first thing is when you switch to the short-term move, well, first thing, go to the Discord or use the link in the video and download the TrendScope Indicator. In the Discord, under the education channel, you'll find TrendScope Indicator description, and there I talk through each and every filter set that's in the thing. So it's one indicator that does all this job of all these various indicators for you. And basically, then you can use this. It comes with a tutorial and usage tips and so forth to do what you need to do. Okay, so let's look at this then. So what I'm going to do is just clean out all the previous brush strokes. And let's start off with the first set. So once it's loaded, you'll be able to say short-term momentum. Okay, so short-term momentum looks like this. So if you look at this from a short-term point of view, you can clearly see that what has happened now for traders to kind of define which direction we need to be trading is that your 100 moving average is below or above your 50 moving average, but your 20 moving average is still somewhere in the middle. So the market is still confused. So it means that we should not necessarily rush into any positions at the moment. This could turn into a move to the upside, a move to the downside. So it's telling you that you need to wait for the extremes. You can't just blindly enter the market at the moment, as these indicators are clearly, or these. And just to get back, a moving average is like a statistical line. So statistically, the market has not made up its mind whether it's ready today to go to 40K. Simple. That's basically what it's telling. Now, when you go to your second filter set, which means this is your long-term momentum, okay, that does exactly the same, but it looks more from a macro point of view. So it uses different moving averages. Just as a quick reminder for everybody, or you wouldn't probably pick it up, but the label should have changed as per the indicator, the moving averages, and I somehow, when I coded it, screwed it up. So it still says the same thing, but it's different lines. Okay. So when we look at this from a long-term point of view, you can also see that only now we have a situation where your momentum is falling below trend. Okay. And the trend is still from sideways. So long term. So we could potentially this week still chop in this direction. So it's not ready to go to these 40Ks just yet. So that's what it's telling us. So how should we be trading then? So the trades that we need to be taking for this week means that the trend is bearish, so we should consider going short, but we need to understand that the market is probably not ready to give you a juicy trade like this, where you can go short, sit on it for 2 to 3 weeks, and then take profit on it. You need to have a more stricter risk management and a tighter entry and so forth. Okay, so that's what that is telling me. So when I move over to the third phase set now, so you've gone to short, middle, now you're going to go to trading range. Basically what you need to do is you need to load additional indicators. These are also standard indicators, but it's stuff that I cannot program into one. And the first one is the VRPR, and the second one is the standard volume. And basically this tool is going to help you identify the range highs and lows. So let's take away my own lines and use the lines that the indicators will generate. So you move the screen up until the entire range, meaning when the moving averages stop trending. Okay, remember, let's switch back there. There we stopped trending. So we want to consider the move that broke the trend. And then from this point onwards, the market's been confusing, both from a short-term and a long-term point of view. That is when the overlap happened with the indicators, so with the moving average. So statistically, from that point onwards, we're basically consolidating since then. So now if we go back to our trading range and we look at that, then you can clearly see that the VRPR is also giving you upper areas of where the upper end of the lateral range would be and the lower end of the range, and we're turning that into resistance. So it's very simple. And then what it's also telling you is that at this level here is where the most amount of money has been spent. So if you think about this, this is where the loss is. So everybody that bought Bitcoin has probably averaged around the $67,000 range. And where we are now is probably not enough loss in the market for that to turn around. And the reason I say that is when we look at the volume. Now, a trend does the following. Okay, as price moves up, you'll see that volume will grow as well. Makes sense, right? And as soon as volume does the opposite, but price moves up, you're in a state of divergence. The market is going to reverse. This move is no longer sustainable. So if you look at this from the consolidation point of view, and you look at the volume from there to where we are now, you can clearly see that the moving average as well as the volume bars are slowly growing. So this is actually getting stronger because we're going lower and the volume's getting bigger. Once we're in a position where the market is exhausted from retracing, from going bearish, you'll find a scenario like the volume starts going low, and then that will tell you that there's exhaustion, and then you can start thinking in the other direction. So for this instance, the market was really bullish. The volume started getting low, and it's telling you that there was exhaustion within this market. So I'm looking for, with this indicator set, I'm looking for the following things to happen. Okay, I want to try and see when the Bollinger Band is going to give me a nice pinch. So I'm looking for a pinch in the market, and that normally then signals a breakout. Okay, so look at any of these highs, and once you have that pinch in the Bollinger Band, then you know you're ready for the establishment of another big move. Okay, so until that happens, you're kind of in for more chop. So it means the market's just going to be almost cruel, or it won't make sense. Just going to be chopping up and down, and so forth. So where we are now, we've just come off a pinch. So it tells us that now that the breakout is there, the market is ready to start trending potentially. Okay, so that is the aim from the Bollinger Band, or what I aim to use it for. Okay, so now that I know this, okay, so I know that from the big point of view, the trend is down. We could still chop a little bit, and we've now just come off a pinch. It means that I can then use this area where we are now and these areas here where the volume is very low as potential bounce points for whatever I'm going to be doing. So I can mark these areas out where there's low volume in the market. You can see that we're already bouncing from that range. So potentially the market will be doing something like this, turning that into resistance and then start moving down to these levels. So now I've got a clear idea of what the market's going to do. So the Bollinger is telling me the move is happening. So we've pinched now. So there's going to be a move. Momentum's going to start coming in. The VRPR is telling me where the plausible bounds or TP targets for those moves are going to be. And then I can switch over to the last or the fourth setting. And that is the scalp setting. So this is the one. Now I can look for an entry. And the way that I'm going to do that is I've just got mine predefined, preset already. So let's just go over to the scalper. And so now it's loaded on the scalper settings. All that I'm going to be doing is I'm going to switch this to the Heikin-Ashi candle. And I'm waiting for the following conditions. Okay. I want to see the red below the yellow and the price below the red. And once I have 3 of those candles, I can start entering the market and I can use the yellow as a trailing stop. And I exit once price opens and closes above the line, or in this instance, that candle. And then once I have 3 again, I can use exactly the same move again, and I can exit once I have a candle close. So this means that you're not necessarily going to be getting in at the exact top, which is what we tend to want to do. We tend to want to be able to enter at the top and exit at the bottom, and then we exclude ourselves all the gains that can be had in the middle of the move. Realistically, you can be so lucky to get this and you can be so lucky to get there. But in the pursuit of trying to identify that high and that low, you miss out on all this. Why not ignore that and say, let's give this to the other people that will be losing consistently, okay? Let them try and figure that out. Wait until the market is clearly lining up and saying that there is a move, and then rather than just get in on that and then ride the wave, ride the momentum. So I rather want to wait for the wave to present itself and then choose to get in or not, as opposed to float in the middle of the ocean saying there's going to be a wave. You know, the odds is how are you going to predict that? And that's what makes for more successful trading for a living strategies is that. Okay, so the TrendScope Indicator does that for you. So it helps you to navigate the market. It helps you get out of your own way because we tend to read into things too much, okay, and so forth. So what is it telling you? It's not ready for a big move just yet. You need to be patient. It is about to happen potentially, but we first need 3 candles. So 3 more 4-hour candles in this condition. So the red is now below the yellow. Now I need 3 more candles. And if there's 3 more candles on the open of the 4th, I can enter. And then I will ride this until I see a candle open and close above the red. As simple as that. There you have it, guys. So go get the indicator. You can then apply this to any other coin that you might be looking at. So here you have a scenario where near is now already in that condition. 1, or you can use that. Maybe let's make it simple. 1, 2, 3. So you can start thinking about entering, and you need to consider that that is your invalidation. And once price, only once price opens and closes a candle above that, consider that the move has now invalidated. Okay, there you have it, guys. I'm going to head over to the Discord now. It's now market tactics time. So we're going to be diving in. I'm going to be sharing my trade setups and everything. So for those that's in the Discord, going to be chatting to you guys soon. And then we're going to use the Trade Buddy indicator, which is another one that I finished over the week that gives a little bit more of information. I'm going to use and show you guys how to plug that into the TrendScope to ease your trading even further. So if you want to have access to this, guys, very simple. The video is brought to you by Prime. You can open your Prime account. Links to everything's in the video description. And come trade with me. And if you do that, I will give you access to everything. As simple as that. There you have it, guys. Have a lovely day. And I'll be back tomorrow with more trading for a living tips for you guys. Cheers.
I'll keep hustling.
Subscribe now.